Is he still sleeping? Jesus, how you fucking sleeping like... Oh my god. I think so. I'm not. I am, however, incredibly tired. It's getting late in the morning. I know that. He likely stayed up to watch television. I could hear from our bedroom. Only because I couldn't get to sleep. Oh, fucking Sal. Should we wake him? Don't do that, Nako, please. Please. No, we should leave him. I doubt he'd want to be woken up early if he didn't get much sleep during the night. Thank you, Lily. Besides, he sounds so peaceful. It'd be a shame to wake him when he's like this. So Sal's just like listening in on the conversation and pretending to be sleeping. Keep a straight face, Sal. It's nice she cares so much, though. Um, Malco, could you go to the fridge and fish out what's needed to make lunch? Alright, just the vegetable and rice? That should be enough. We only need something simple, as we can eat in town later. Malco's footsteps on the carpeted floor can be heard, moving away from the living room, as they do. I feel Lily's hand gently rest on my chest. Ooh, what the fuck? What's going on? I know a titanic effort not to react, but something about her makes me think she knows I'm awake. Long silence passes. Well, your breathing probably changed. Like, maybe it changed when you're asleep. You're probably a lot calmer when you're sleeping, right? And since you're awake now, you're breathing, yeah, whatever. The only thought in my mind is of that gentle, outstretched hand laying upon my chest. After an indiscernible amount of time, Lily withdraws her hand. Good morning, Sal. Yeah, see? She knows. Conceding defeat all too easily, I prop myself up and rub my eyes. How do you know? Yeah, your breathing was off. Got it. Got him. Well, it makes sense. She couldn't have needed that long to work it out. Knowing her hearing, she's likely knew before laying her hand on me. Exactly. She has amazing hearing, and then just to, like, confirm, she put her hand on your chest or whatever to feel it. You feel your chest moving in and out. If you want to sleep more, you should go to bed early. I heard the television going long into the night. Sorry about that. My medications have been interfering with my sleep for a while now. Even if I'm tired, I have trouble actually sleeping. I'm sorry for bringing it up, Sal. I sigh. This is exactly the kind of thing I wish others wouldn't do. Save. I don't know, Sal. Let's address it. Don't wave it off. It's not... Come on. You worry about me more than I do at times. It just means I have to sleep a bit longer, that's all. But still. I'd like to say I look absolutely fine, but I guess that wouldn't have a lot of meaning for you. She gives a sigh of consternation before trailing off with an amused chuckle, giving up the point. If you say so, please do take care of yourself, Sal. Go on, Naka could use some help. She moves to protest, but reluctantly quiets it, whatever, and disappears in the kitchen, her hand running along the smooth white wall as she slowly walks. For a while, I sit and watch television and attempt to wake myself a little more, but it's futile. I don't have anything better to do, so I follow Lily's lead. As the corner. As around the corner, I see Anako and Lily's back turn, quietly cutting food on the granite-colored counter. I am temporarily engrossed as I watch Lily guiding the knife down carefully with a finger on the cabbage she's cutting, each slice delivered slowly but with precision. She seems a little slow, but considering that she can't see what she's doing, it's a small wonder if she can cook at all, let alone for both her and Anako. Hi, Anako. Lily. Want any help? Is that his Ah! Oh, morning, Sal. Lily jerks back in surprise before turning around, her yelp immediately drawing Anako as I to her side. What's, A small trickle of scarlet falls downward from her pale fingertip, the knife having cut just deep enough to draw blood. With the television sound masking my footsteps, she must have not noticed me coming. To compensate for having used touch to guide everything she does during cooking, she must need to pay extra attention. Really? Don't worry, Anako, it's just a small wound. You should still get a band-aid on it, at least until it stops bleeding. First aid stuff would be in the bathroom, right? I think so. Will you be okay here, Anako? I frown at how little heed she's paying to herself as Anako gives a quick, almost automatic nod. It's fine, I can keep making lunch. That's a nice bathroom. That's nice. That's my very nice bathroom. That's nice, bathtub. An awkward silence reigns as I set the bottle of antiseptic and a box of band-aids on the side of the sink. Lily's fingers held out for me to treat. The lid of the bottle comes off with a minimum of resistance, and a small ball of cotton I soaked in liquid stains a pale green. Okay, hold still. This will probably hurt a bit. She gives a small nod as I take hold of her to study it. With all the tenderness I can muster, I gently bring it down towards her the red line. Ah! What? I barely touched it. Sorry. I give a small sigh, both at reaction and to settle my own nerves. Her pain intolerance is startlingly low. Obviously. I would tell you to man up, but I can't really do that. As she gives a small giggle, I take advantage of her momentary distraction and gently press a cotton against her finger a few times. Thankfully, it's enough to do the job. We both settle somewhat as I bring the band-aid over the tip of her finger, covering the wound while making sure not to get it stuck to her fingernail. There. Finished. You can move now. Taking her hand from mine, she gently clasps it another. Oh, sorry. Oh my god. Thank you. It's no problem. It's the least I can do after causing you to hurt yourself after all. She lowers her head slightly as an apology, absent-mindedly rubbing her hand in what seems to be embarrassment. I really don't mind. Her answer doesn't seem to make much sense, given that what happened is pretty clearly my fault. I can't help grimacing at her, despite the fact that her dainty smile still holds. She must not like being reminded of the limitations her lack of sight imposes on her. It's something I can't possibly fault her for. I've fallen prey to the same kind of feeling before, despite my condition of not being nearly as ubiquitous in my life. Neither of us any the happier we head back to the various smells of cooking food coming from the kitchen. Isn't Hanako bad at cooking in this one? I lay out plates of food, steam slowly rising from the well-cooked rice and curry dishes, while Hanako lays out the cutlery. Knife one side, fork on the other, Western, how perfectly fitting for someone like Lily. As we take our seats, taking carefully heed of the dark red tablecloth hanging below our knees, Lily emerges from the kitchen. In her hands are 3 glasses and a bottle of wine. As I recall our previous run-in with a devilish elixir, I hide my face in my palm. Alcohol? Seriously? She easily pauses as she waits at the table, a playful grin perched on her face. Akira specifically gave permission to take a bottle from her collection. Not only does she give alcohol to minors, she even lets them pilfer their own. A perfect model of a responsible Akira is not. A responsible adult Akira is not. More to the point, though, is that it is hardly a meal deserving of alcohol. I'm starting to think Lily is the type to easily become hooked on things. That's not really the problem. I don't really have any qualms with it, but didn't you have a bad experience with it last time? Last time was likely due to drinking too much, so a single glass shouldn't prove a problem. Think of it as a learning experience. I can't recall many learning experiences that made me feel wrong before putting me to sleep. and I'll take your word for it. She dips an uninjured fingers inside to feel the liquid level tip against the bottom as the liquid rises. The white of her finger almost seems to glow as the sunlight hits it, the delicate outline blurred and refracted by the glass. Her fingers are delicate, longer than mine. Her fingers are definitely longer than mine. The kind I'd think more suited to a pianist than a teacher. She'd likely have done well if she'd learned how to play. I quickly dig into her meal, forks and knives clattering against plates. None of us are particularly eager to speak while eating, although, together, too reserved for such a thing. Hanako probably too shy to start a conversation, I too busy savoring the food. Such a pedestrian activity, eating out together at a table. It seems so utterly normal, yet it makes me realize how long it's been since I've done something like this. Just the three of us sitting around at a single table eating if we were a malformed family. Maybe the trip as far away from everything as we are was worth it. Look at that couch though, that couch. It takes quite a long time, but eventually we all finish our surprisingly filling meal. The wine, thankfully, has little effect given we've only had a glass or two each. I slump back into the seat, rubbing my stomach contentedly. I'm stuffed. Lily pats her mouth with a napkin. Only twice. And with evenly timed intervals in between. It's hard to tell sometimes whether how she acts is well-trained routine or well-rehearsed act. I think I must be as well. Did you like it, Anako? It was nice. Oh my god. Now that we're all fed, shall we be off? Off? Where? Ah, you weren't privy to the discussion between Naoko and I earlier. I get the impression she's having a subtle dig at my sleeping in. We'll be going to the town nearby. I guess I should have expected the girls to take a holiday as an excuse to go shopping, no matter where on the planet they may be. I'm interested to see more around the north though, so this can be only a good thing. Sounds good. How long's the walk in then? It's supposed to be around a mile to a mile and a half. Nearby, huh? Great. Just great. As we climb up the path surrounded by trees and undergrowth, I watch Lily and Naka walking ahead. A slight breeze all but whisking around the sound of Lily's cane gently tapping on the ground. I noticed that Lily's since removed the band-aid now, that the bleeding of her finger has stopped. A deep lung-filling breath of fresh air. Country air. My god. Country air makes me wish all the harder the air around home has been quite so clean. It can't have even been a half a mile, but I'm already working up a sweat. It isn't a pleasantly cool day though, so I shouldn't be too hard on myself for it. Hey Lily, how well do you know this town anyway? Since I spent quite a few of my vacations here up until I entered Yamaku, I'd say I know it fairly well. We used to drive there once a weekend then. How I wish Akira was here to drive us now. I quickly take a moment to rub my hands a couple of times, staving off the oddly cold feeling in them. Did you like it up here? I'd say it was nice during winter, but as you can work out, the summer gets a little too hot for comfort. It's nice and quiet, at least. My family's real house is quite far south. When they left Japan, my parents gave it to Akira and I. Only Akira lives there now after my moving into Yamaku. Well, quiet certainly describes his place. Though lonely is how I put it. Other than the professed small town, there's another soul for miles around. Coming from home nestled deep within the big city, it's certainly different. I think that if I'd not come to Yamaku, staying out in the country like this would be too much of a change to get used to. After getting accustomed to the school's isolation, though, the idea of living in a place such as this has become almost inviting. To be somewhere away from the hustle and bustle of the metropolitan centers. So, Sal, have you been to Hokkaido before? Nah. I used to live down south, and we never had any field trips or holidays up there this far. Well, it's a new experience for you then. Yeah, it is. I'm surprised at how nice it feels here. How about you, Hanako? She shakes her head from side to side. It's my first time too. As we continue walking, I begin to feel pins and needles on my legs. It's a little disturbing, given there's no reason for it to be happening. Could you two hold on a moment? I just need to... Is anything wrong? No, I just got pins and needles and... Oh shit. My vocal cords suddenly become taut as my chest tightens instantaneously. I quickly pull up my upper arms over it, trying to quell the shot of pain spreading throughout my entire body. This how? This how? Lily's face is almost mildly concerned, not knowing the side which Hanako's recoiling from. I'm fine, just tired. I move my arm from my chest and force myself to begin walking again. It's just a minor heart flutter, so it'll pass like the others. No, Hisao, just stop. It only takes a couple of seconds or steps before my body violently revolts against me. My legs suddenly beginning to give away underneath me, and all tension in my knees seems to evaporate. Oh God! Before I can react, the useless give way under my weight, leaving me only just enough time to brace myself and fall into all fours. Damn. Hissa! As I look up to her, I realize my face is still taut with pain, only adding that much more to her worrying. Sal, Hanako, tell me what's going on. Hanako, tell me. Hanako quickly moves to my side as Lily almost panics, having a little clue as to exactly how bad my condition I'm in. When she stands there petrified, I lower my face and take a deep breath. I came to a realization that makes me endlessly irritated with my stupid self. With all excitement of my new surroundings, I entirely neglected to take my medications last night or even this morning. Oh shit. Sal, you idiot. Taking another breath, the acute pain in my chest begins to die down as suddenly as it had arrived. Thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God. As it does, I become acutely aware of my sweat by now by pouring off my face and then two scared girls around me. It's Hal. I'm up, I'm fine, Lily. I'm fine. I screw up my brow in an effort to lever myself up. Naoko's arm quickly moving to catch me if I fall as I stumble a bit before regaining my balance. I look at Lily and Naoko, worry written on both their faces. I feel awful. Utterly awful. I think we should go back. Realizing the futility of protesting, I look away in frustration. Fine. Damn it. Fucking... Oh. I'm going to this... Oh. Oh, nice couch. I open my eyes groggily, completely bereft of energy. For a while, I simply lie down lifelessly, staring at the ceiling as I review the events of the morning in an attempt to organize my thoughts. We went to walk to town. My heart nearly gave way. When I came back, I took my pills, I slept. I can only remember each period of the time as a snapshot, but the timeline is clear enough. Memories of girls' faces as I struggled to stand is an unpleasant one, stinging my feelings harshly. If I look at the ceiling hard enough, I can imagine the towel edges, the small dimples of the ceiling in the hospital. The fact alone is enough to make me sit up and try to pull myself together. I scratch the back of my disheveled hair, glancing around the room. Lily and Anako are nowhere to be seen, and the television's turned off. The clock above it says it's pretty late in the afternoon. The noticeably reddened sky outside the window confirms it further. I turn and pick myself off the futon, swaying slightly as I put my arms out for balance. I suppose I better go look for the girls to see if they're alright. As I look out the window, I faintly see something in the distance. Straining my eye, I can just make out the shape of a person's figure. Her long blonde hair swaying in the faint breeze makes her almost seem to meld in the bright yellow of the wheat fields. Without second thought, I leave to the room to follow the lone apparition. The brightness of the settling sun assaults my freshly woken eyes, forcing me to avert them until they adjust. The long yellow strands of wheat brush against my legs as I wade through them, the long densely grown field making it hard to advance. Regardless, my eyes stay fixed ahead, true to the solitary figure. Within minutes I reach her, meters behind her, turn back. Lily? She simply nods. Where's Hanako? She's in bed. She went to sleep after I calmed her down. She says it in a matter-of-factly, and with a few words as possible, as if saying any more was strictly forbidden. There's something different about her. Her normal, confident figure seems oddly fragile, her body offering no resistance to the breeze blowing her skirt. The strands of wheat sway from side to side while deafening pauses pass, the only sound being their rustling. As we stand in the field alone, I know what I have to ask. What's wrong, Lily? You're not acting like you usually do. Remember when I talked to my family, Asao? Your family. I looked downward in thought, sifting through my scattered memories. The event seems to leap ready to hand when I search for it, rising to the surface as soon as it was recalled. After Hanako's birthday party? She gives a single simple nod. It was nice back then, you and I, celebrating with Hanako, simply sharing presents, talking, having fun together. It was almost as if we were a family, one small misshapen family. I thought that could go on forever, just the three of us, happily together. She takes a long breath and slightly shakiness to it, just barely audible through the moving air. Even if my family was so far away, as long as we were together, that was all I needed. I don't want to lose you, Asao. I didn't even realize how afraid I was losing someone else until today. I'm sorry, Lily. I know my body's weak, but even then I make the most stupid of mistakes. Don't apologize. Please don't apologize. Lily? She turns to face me, her pale cheeks stained with tears. One misguided step after another, she stumbles towards me, her arms held out in search of so much of a paintbrush against me. Oh my god. My heart doesn't race nor pound as I step towards Lily gently, taking and steadying her in my arms as she quickly clutches to me, sobbing. With the face trembling against my shoulder, the next words from her mouth are the last I expected. I love you, Asao. I love you. 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 Don't go away. I beg of you, never ever go away. I love you, so please. So, that's why she's been acting like this. That tender voice when I recalled her thoughtless concern as the slightest pain I might feel. After having been left in Japan without her family, with only Karen and Nako and I around, she was afraid of losing yet another person who was close to her. She was evidently worried for me. It's a strange feeling, a mix of surprise and sorrow, yet also the deepest gratitude I think I've ever felt. The only reaction I can muster among my conflicting emotions is a calm sigh. You idiot. Sal? For a fleeting moment, I feel her body become still. The only movement to be felt is the calm afternoon breeze. I said it before, didn't I? It's only natural to feel concerned about those around you. I'm still here and I'll always be here, because I want to see you more each day, to share in your happiness, to support you in your sadness. But most of all, I'm still here because I wanted to see you smile, your true smile. A single gust of wind rustles along strands of wheat. A second silence passes. Smile when you want to smile, cry when you want to cry. I love you, Lily, so you don't have to hold back anymore. With that, her arms clutch my back again as tightly as she can, her face buried beside mine. Her tears fall down my back as she cries unrestrainedly, as the last of her resistance melts away. Estelle! I close my eyes and bring my head down to her shoulder, her shaking frame tightly. It's okay, Lily. I'll never go away. I promise. We slowly walk back to the house, holding each other tightly as we concede inside. Lily leans her head on my shoulder as I put my arm around her waist. Neither of us has any want to break the silence. With her eyes shut, it's hard to work out whether she's fallen asleep. Not that I mind the warmth of her body leaning against me, the softness of her hand delicately held in mine. For a long time, we sit leaning against one another, sharing our warmth and feelings as night eventually begins to settle in. Lily's gentle, soft voice ended in the silence. Thank you, Isao. Thank you for returning my feelings. Did you think I wouldn't? There was a possibility. I take a deep breath and thought how much was my own fault. It's funny, actually. I was thinking of telling you about my own feelings sometime soon. I guess in that way, you saved me the effort. She raises her hand a little and gives a tiny, amused giggle. I smile at how earnest it is, so girlish in lightness. She collects herself soon afterward, her hair resting against my shoulder. Feeling a bit better? She gives a small nod. You're thoughtful, Sal. That's why I like you. I'm sorry I'm like this. As much as I didn't want to make you concerned for me, I couldn't do anything to prevent it. Don't apologize for it. Please don't. Lily? Have I ever apologized for my blindness, even once? You can't help the way you were born, Isao. There's no point in apologizing for who you are. She says this with surprising conviction. In the end, it was perhaps this mentality which spurred it to befriend me in such a short time, in addition to her motherly instincts. She did seem to become trusting very quickly, but I never questioned why. Now it seems obvious that she did so to help me as I went through one of the lowest points of my life. I moved to respond, but kept myself off as I feel her fingers run gently through my hair. I feel her soft and delicate touch moving downward to trace their contour to my face, her palm finally settling on my cheek. You are a beautiful person, Isao. Please don't ever apologize for that. For a moment, I'm utterly speechless. I slowly bend my head down, placing a tender kiss on her light, voluminous hair. We're a couple of right old fools, aren't we? We are. After a long calm, she speaks again. Isao? Yes? I wouldn't mind if you... I feel her hand tensing under mine, trembling slightly. My mouth opens, but try as I might, I can't formulate a response to her proposition. Lily? Before I can say another word, she slips her hand from under mine and tenderly holds the side of my face once more. Please. I give a peaceful smile, holding her against my cheek as I nod a single time. Okay. As I look into her eyes, she leans towards me. Her delicate lips touch mine as she guides herself with her hand. Wait, don't want to break the mood or anything, but she breaks off not a second later, faintly smiling. I love you, Isao. We kiss again, this time with both of us meeting each other. While the previous kiss was one of love, this one of lust, our tongues meeting and our breathing heavy. After precious seconds we part, both our faces well and truly flushed. Both of us bring our fingers to our lips in unison, recalling the fleeting feeling, rapidly becoming buried both by our urges and bashfulness. Lily's the first to shift uncontrollably, though. What is it? Should we get more comfortable? Oh, okay. Now that she mentions it, this futon would be a bit too narrow to do much on, considering the thoughts running through both our minds. It's no small wonder one of us may have any measure in foresight left. I take her hand and guide her sideways as I move, a brief and awkward dance, and then with both of us tentatively sitting on the floor opposite each other. As I reach forward to pull her top off, she stops as she moves her hand to do the same. You are shaking. I pause for a moment and look at my sides. Sure enough, they're quivering slightly. Whether it's from nervousness or excitement, I'm not sure. I guess I am. So, you're as nervous as I am then. I withdraw my hands and sigh, steadying myself. We have plenty of time, so there's no need to rush it. I should probably, close the curtains. Sorry, it's my first time, so I'm a bit... She giggles shakily, all but confirming what I reasonably deduced by now. It's the same for me. I'm happy we could share this together. Even though there's no one around, you'll probably close those curtains seriously. I match her smile twofold, leaning forward and taking her body in my arms as she reaches to hug me back. I love you, Lily. You already said that. I can't help grinning. Even in such a situation, she still has it with her wits about her. Breaking our embrace, we decide to take off our own clothing. Well, it's easier this way. I don't doubt it's just an attempt to distract ourselves from our nerves. With slightly stiff hands, I begin to slide the first one out from my shirt. Once we remove this last of our clothes, which end up haphazardly piled behind us, my breath is taken by the sight in front of me. That's some good-looking shrimp. I don't know.